Did you all really think I was just gonna let Christmas pass without doing a video for it first? Nope. Hello YouTube, this is JustinGame44, and today, well, pretty much I had nothing really planned to do for these Christmas videos. Since for Halloween I did a review episode of SpongeBob, of the stop motion animation one, I decided, hey, why don't I do the exact same thing but both of the SpongeBob Christmas specials? So, let's begin. The first one. This was all the way back in the early seasons, back when SpongeBob was in its prime. Now, what happened in this episode is basically this is the first time we see Patchy the pirate. And he explains pretty much no one has ever heard of Christmas. Then he tells the story why. I do like for the fact how many different things go on with the story. I think he's hilarious and funny, and he's definitely a great start for this. Now, pretty much what happens in this episode here when we get to SpongeBob, SpongeBob pretty much goes to Sandy's tree dome, sees a lit up tree, and he thinks it's consumed its fire. So he tries to stop it. Sandy's pretty much like, "What is wrong with you? Have you never seen a Christmas tree before?" SpongeBob says, "Christmas who?" Sandy is shocked and actually has to explain the story, and pretty much Santa Claus and everything. Then pretty much SpongeBob tells this to Squidward, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs. And then what they pretty much do next is, well, Squidward's pretty much the Grinch, but he doesn't steal Christmas. And all the other people are away and getting gifts. So what pretty much happened is SpongeBob invents a device that pretty much gives everyone their letters stood up way high in the sky. But they're floating right next to the island. Anyway, pretty much Squidward's trying to convince people that Santa Claus is just a big phony. So, what happens next? Well, we break into song. This is one of the nice, sweeter songs, and it's nice and simple. I do like it. So, pretty much what happened is here, they're getting ready for Christmas. They have a lit up coral tree. And pretty much what happens throughout here is that, well, they got Squidward's house decorated during the song and everything. And everyone's really happy, but I think they did one thing when I realized, and I have realized it since I was little. If they're all awake, does that mean Santa's really not going to come if they're all awake? I think that's one part Sandy forgot to mention. He won't come if you're awake, he'll fly right past your house. Well, pretty much Santa didn't came when it was Christmas Day. Everyone can assume that Christmas is pretty much fake and everything, and Santa's just a big lie. Squidward is honestly making fun of SpongeBob for it, and pretty much SpongeBob gave him a present that he was pretty much hoping to give him if Santa didn't give him one. And pretty much it was a wooden clarinet with special things, and it sounded really good. And what happened? Well, pretty much Squidward now feels sorry for SpongeBob, and actually we wanted to cheer him up by dressing up like Santa, and pretty much tell him, "Thanks to you, you brought Christmas to the town." Made SpongeBob happy, but immediately turned on him, and pretty much now he's giving all of his stuff away just to give them to people, just to make them happy. And pretty much all of his stuff is gone, and so is the snow. Yeah, pretty much what happens next is Mr. Santa Claus gives Squidward a letter right on his doorstep saying, "Dear Squidward, thanks for all your help. You've been a real good boy this year. Warm regards, Santa Claus." And then pretty much we're seeing Santa Claus flying up the sky and being crazy, almost falling. And pretty much it was kind of mean that Santa didn't give Squidward pretty much all of his furniture, new furniture. But literally other than that, Squidward's saying, "Yeah, I'm insane." And he goes inside playing his clarinet. And pretty much we cut to Santa saying "Merry Christmas" out of the water. And that's where the episode ends after we see Patchy the pirate for the last time. So, what do I think about this episode? Is it better than the second one, or is it better? Well, pretty much, I think they're both great. I can't really decide which is better or which. I have to pick the stop motion one, because I think, oh, who am I kidding? I'm a sucker for stop motion. But literally, other than that, let's go to the second one. Okay, you see, pretty much this is where things get interesting. This came out a few years before the Halloween one. However, though, this one it was very clear and simple. First of all, when I first saw the trailer, I honestly thought this was from Robot Chicken, If you don't know what that show is, then I'm not going to really tell you. I really did not like the show Robot Chicken. But pretty much, this, it turns out, was wrong. It's actually a stop motion. It was kind of surprising that Nickelodeon, that they're using one of their cartoons as an actual stop motion. That's honestly really great. Nickelodeon has never really done something like this before. And Cartoon Network, back with Child and The Amazing World of Flapjack. I don't remember who were those shows, if that's what they're called, since they have not been aired on years ago. But pretty much they had a mix of stop motion, 3D animation, and all that stuff. But besides that, let's get back to the Christmas special one. Now you see, pretty much what happens is we first start in song. Well, no, it's back with Patchy, and this is kind of great because Patchy was there for the first one, and it's really great that he's here for the second one. I think he kind of stole the mail truck from a very old Christmas special one. The mail truck, if you know what I mean. And pretty much what he wants to do is he wants to get to the North Pole, so make sure Santa would get his letter that what he wants for Christmas. It's kind of obvious what he wants though, but we'll get to that at the end. Anyway, it pretty much breaks out with song with SpongeBob saying, "I know that Santa, Santa, Santa has his jolly eyes on me." Yeah, what makes this really great though, is pretty much it feels like this special pretty much feels like it belongs back in the first 3 seasons. Because all the characters seem to be good. Sandy's in character, Patrick's in character, Squidward's in good character, Plankton, everyone's in good character here, even Mr. Krabs. Pearl makes a little good look, until she becomes a jerk. Okay, now let's get back and focus on the story. When the song is pretty much over, Plankton is pretty much discussing he's always on the naughty list. So, in order to make sure this doesn't happen this time, he uses a fruitcake and put jerktonium in them to pretty much make everyone else jerks. It fails with SpongeBob, and Plankton thinks his plans have failed, so he gives it to SpongeBob. And then SpongeBob keeps giving it to everyone else in town, and everyone else become jerks. Plankton is knowing this, so pretty much though, he made a robot of SpongeBob to cause mayhem and destruction, that Santa would be confused and actually think that's SpongeBob, and pretty much he would be on the list as well, since SpongeBob can't get infected by it, because of a mix of his pure love of the holidays. Squidward honestly denies it, but he's still a jerk no matter what. But yeah, other than that, it pretty much turns to Christmas Eve soon, and he realized everyone's starting to act like jerks, and he realized if everyone's gonna keep acting like this way, Santa's gonna fly right past Bikini Mom on this Christmas Eve. I need to get some help. He goes to Sandy, and then pretty much Sandy's acting like a jerk. But the second the jerktonium gets into the fruitcake and her Christmas magic analyzer, she realized why she was being a jerk, and she was shocked to find out. Anyway, pretty much she set the catalyzer, I don't remember what you call it. She pretty much put the formula how to actually help everyone. Antidote. And pretty much it's a song, which Sandy didn't realize it. SpongeBob did, and it turns out the song was the antidote. So pretty much this song actually was being sung. However, though, fun fact for most of you who might or may not know about this song was technically already out years before this special even came out, and I'm talking about like 3 or 4 years ago. Or even more than that, I don't know when it first came out. But pretty much they decided to put it in the stop motion. They usually for the little trailers and everything in the commercials when people are just basically waiting on Christmas songs. Other than that, pretty much after the song works, everyone's back not being jerks. Santa actually does come down and pretty much tells everyone they're all on the naughty list, except for Plankton. Everyone's shocked. Pretty much what happens next is that Plankton has a secret formula, which is kind of obvious. Now, pretty much the robot SpongeBob does come, and actually cause mayhem, beats up SpongeBob, takes Santa, SpongeBob saves SpongeBob saves Santa, and pretty much they destroy the robot. They found a little piece of the robot still when the elves, and says, "What do we have here? If found, please return to the chum bucket." Okay, there's something I gotta mention. Santa Claus in here, literally, the guy who was dressed up as Santa literally looked a whole lot better than this. this Santa really looks weird and everything, I'm not gonna deny. I have no idea whose idea was this, but it's kind of hilarious. I even love it when Mr. Krabs, "Get out of my pocket, you foul goblin!" Yeah, that part just made me laugh. But literally, other than that, pretty much we all know what happened. The elves pretty much dump a lot of coal on him. And as for like all the other characters in the special before we end this, pretty much throughout the episode, Patrick is trying to actually capture Santa by setting up traps. And at the end, SpongeBob says, "Hey, has anyone seen Patrick?" It turns out Patrick's right behind Santa's sleigh on top of him, and immediately has a net with him and says, "Gotcha," and the sleigh crashes. Other than that, Mr. Krabs pretty much makes a few jokes and everything, and make a few scenes for each part of the story. Swimmer's hardly seen, but he does make a good funny parts in the song in the beginning, where he says, "Stringing lights for Santa knows, for all no certain term, to go away." Yeah, I think Swimmer's mad at him for not giving him his stuff back. Anyway, besides that, Sandy's pretty much the one who actually has the device that will eventually discover what was in the fruitcake from Plankton. Now, pretty much, other than that, that's pretty much it. Anyway, as for the ending, pretty much they actually finally get back to Santa's workshop. Well, actually, first, they actually crash, and then they were pretty much staying out for the night, and then they pretty much find out Santa's workshop's in a cave. Polly says, "Oh, I'm not going there." Yeah, that was kind of confusing. Why? But it turns out it was not actually Santa. Pretty much Patchy was hallucinating, and actually it was a snow bear. And he was pretty much running away from it. And pretty much we're seeing Potty and Santa together, and I think stealing us a mail truck certainly counts as naughty. Wouldn't you say, Potty? "I sure would, Santa." They both end the episode with saying, "Ha ha ha, Merry Christmas." By the way, if I didn't mention what Patchy wanted, he wanted to meet his hero SpongeBob SquarePants. Yeah, that's kind of not of a shock. Yeah, so which do I really think is the best episode? Like I just said before. Like I said before, I actually still think it's the stop motion because I am a sucker for stop motion. Because believe it or not, it's no secret they always use this thing for holiday episodes. I mean, back in the old 1960s, they pretty much used stop motion all the time for Christmas specials. It was very great and everything. But yeah, other than that, this was definitely really great. I definitely love for the fact how come both specials were both great and good. And I hope they keep doing episodes like this. Who knows, we might even get more SpongeBob stop motions in the future. But other than that, I do hope you did enjoy this video here. So until then, this is Judson Game 44 signing out. Until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye!